Hi everyone, it's Tammy with the Frou-frou Studio and welcome back for another episode of I Saw It on Pinterest. And today we are going to be making this little tag with an envelope attached. I thought that was a really cute little make. So I want to make one for a beach journal that I'm gonna be whipping up here in the next few days, kind of like a end of the summer finale thing. And I am using Sam Poole's digital, which is full of vintage papers and pictures and actual photographs and things like that, and these beautiful kind of blues and pinky tones to them. A little bit of coral here and there. And so I want to adapt this particular make to what I have so that I can use it in the journal. And again, if you followed me for a while and if you've been watching these, a lot of times I don't take and try to matchy whatever I'm doing from Pinterest. Usually when I'm looking on Pinterest for something, I'm looking for a basic idea of a layout or something new that I haven't seen before, which is most cases. And then I, make adapt it for whatever I'm going to use it for. I may add, I may take away. It depends on what the make is and how much of it I like or I don't like or whatever. But for the most part, I'm looking for layout and how things are constructed more than what they look like. And that's true in this case. You can see that this post is by Hedy Balzuman Yamashita or Yamasita. I don't know. She is on Instagram, but if you hit view, all you get is the picture. And so I'm not sure if what else she has. If she has a YouTube or if she's on Instagram or anything like that. But if you search Hetty on Pinterest, then you should follow her. Okay, so the first thing I did was cut out a tag base, and I just cut it out of cardstock and I backed it with tea-dyed paper so that it can be written on. And we're going to collage the front of this, and I just pulled out some different kinds and colors of paper that we're just going to tear from and collage the front of this tag. And that's going to be our first order of business. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a glue page here. First of all, is I'm going to apply my glue to the tag, and then I'm just going to rip papers and stick down until I get it covered. And again, I tried to vary my colors of paper that I chose. And if I go over the edges, I'm not going to worry about it because we'll trim around it. The main thing I want to make sure is that I'm covering everything. That's why I haven't poked my hole in the top of the page yet, because I want to make sure that I get everything covered, and then I will worry about poking the hole in there and putting a reinforcer. And I'm going to work in kind of sort of semi-rectangle pieces. Just because that's what I prefer. But you, of course, do whatever you like. If you want them all to be cut and not torn, you can do that look. If you want them to be squares, you can do that. Really, there is no right or wrong to doing this, other than you have to like it. This is French Dictionary. Okay, what else do I have here? Here's some French. It's a French magazine. Oops, that's 2 French magazines. Didn't realize I had 2 pieces there. Now that one's on crooked. There we go. Alright, let's do some of this music paper. And then I'm going to have to cover those 2 little areas I missed now. That's the same one. Let's do this one. It's got little bitty writing. So we'll do one here. And then that one I'm not going to worry about, because by the time I ink, you won't be able to tell that there's not any paper there. Alright, so let's trim around it. Make it all nice and neat. Oh, everything's sticking to everything. Need to clean my scissors. It's from cutting wet paper. We're getting all sticky, icky. Alright, so there's my cover tag. Get all these little sticky pieces of paper out of the way. And then we will focus on our little envelope. Which I want to make out of this part of the kit. And I want it to be mainly the blue. So I think I'm going to tear it. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to tear it across here so I'm not disturbing that fish. I'm going to go all the way across the blue because I'm not sure exactly how much I'm going to need. Okay, so now we don't want to go any wider than the tag, obviously, so we can get our width. Alright, so now we have our width. I'm going to back this because I don't think that paper is going to be thick enough to do an envelope. Now, okay, I'm going to back it with the other piece because it's just about the same size. And that way, I'll have something nice on the inside of the envelope as well. And it's a digital, so I can print it again. No, I went this way. I was trying to decide if I needed to do it upside down, but I don't because it's going to be on the inside flap. Okay, now I'm just going to trim this off where it doesn't match up. Alright, now we can make our little envelope. And theoretically, you would want to wait for this to dry. And you would also want to fold it straight. Okay, now we're going to bend this in half, but not crease it, so that we can round these two corners and make a nice rounded flat. And then bend this down. And then let's put a notch right here in the top, just a little one. And this may be a disaster right here. Trying to do this wet. Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. All right, come out of there without tearing up. So you can see why it's important to wait for that to dry. Okay, so let's ink all the way around it. And I think I'm going to use just Vintage Photo. I don't know why I'm making this side, doesn't matter. Okay, now to hold this closed, what she did, let me ink around this as well, is she used a piece of sari silk or seam binding or whatever, and I'm going to do the same, and I picked a color that I felt would be complementary. But first, I want to cut out this lady, because I'm going to put the fish down here that I saved, or at least part of it, I think. Maybe too big. I'm going to cut it here, make it smaller. Like that. So that's going to go there, and then the lady that I want to use, I think I want to use this one down here. do I want to use one of the bigger ones? Let me try one of the bigger ones too while we're at it. Yeah, I think that smaller one's fine. But I want to put a stamp. I want to put a this. I want to put a this on it. Compass rose. If I can tell which way is up. This way. Okay, and I'm going to do that in potting soil, which is a really dark brown. Okay, so let's get our sorry silk here, or our seam binding. Figure out how much of that we need so that we can wrap a bow to tie it. Okay, let's put our hole up here. Put a hole reinforcer. And then we'll get everything glued down. Actually, we'll glue it down before we put the hole reinforcer on there. So so we can get everything in the right place. Okay. Oh, I need the ink. Oh my goodness. I pulled out my art glitter glue, but I don't need it because this is just copy paper. The fish is. She's cardstock, but she's not real heavy cardstock, so I think my Pritt stick will hold her down as well. Okay, the envelope, however, I will use art glitter glue because it is heavier, and also because we're gluing the silk art seam binding. All right. Make up at this, trim it down a little bit, and that could go inside, but we'll decide that after it dries. I don't want to mess with it too much till it dries. All right, hole reinforcer. And I don't know if I want another piece of this up at the top. Or if I want something else. Or if I want nothing at all. Try to get that bow small and as less bulky as possible. I feel like I may want a stamp right there. Just something to kind of blend that in. I'm going to do that. It doesn't mean a thing, but I think it'll do a nice job of kind of pushing that fish into the background. I'm looking for my stamp block. Well, guess we're going to use the finger stamp block. And then I think I might want something right there as well. But I don't want it to stand out. So, if we took a script stamp and we took a similar color of ink, oops, causing a avalanche. It's not a big one, it was just had 3 plastic things of stamps sitting there, those little CD boxes, and I made them crash. Okay, so I use Mermaid Lagoon in Archive Wheel. What's it gonna look like? Yep, that's what I want. Okay. So that's our make for today. Hope you guys like that. Again, we'll look at the original. So here's the original pen, and this is my version, and I'm gonna put this little piece of leftover seam binding up here. Cut it off fairly short. We don't need tons of ribbon on there. So there we go. That turned out pretty cute. I like it. It's a little bit of an extra take on a tag. And so you could, you know, glue this to a page as a tuck, or you could put it in a big pocket, and then you'd have kind of a secret pocket on a pocket, and you could slide a journal card or a picture or whatever down in there. So I do like the addition of the stamps that I added. Yeah, I like it. Overall, satisfied. So, Hetty, thank you very much for your inspiration. And again, guys, you can find her on Pinterest at this Hetty Balsman. I'm destroying it. Yamashita. I'm sure I'm destroying that too. So there you go. And I will see you guys back on Saturday where we will either be finishing up the school journal if I don't get it done by then, or we will be working on this journal. So either way, I hope you'll join me and do some journaling with me. I hope you have a great rest of the week, and I will see you on Saturday. Bye.